This is Shania Kotowski. Her presentation is on perfection, eating disorders.
Have you ever wished that you looked different? Have you ever wished you could fix something about yourself? I have. But when an obsession with being thin takes over your eating habits, thoughts, and life, it's a sign of an eating disorder. With an eating disorder, the need to lose weight becomes more important than anything else. My essential questions were, what are eating disorders? What are signs, symptoms, and causes of eating disorders? How do eating disorders affect the person or family? What are treatment options for eating disorders? And what are some statistics on eating disorders? Types of eating disorders. Every year, 5 million individuals are affected by various types of eating disorders, which can go untreated and eventually become life-threatening. Anorexia and bulimia are two of the most common disorders, and they affect any man, woman, child, or of any age or culture. Eating disorders may start with a desire for physical attractiveness or body shape. It's not just dieting or overeating. Any eating disorder is a psychological disorder that can affect every choice you make on a daily basis. Anorexia is a disorder in which dieting and thinness leads to weight loss. The individual may not acknowledge that their loss of weight is a problem. Some signs and symptoms are losing a significant amount of weight, continuing to diet although already thin, using excuses not to eat, and diet or compulsive exercising. Believe it or not, anorexia is not about food or weight. It's much more complicated than that. The food and weight-related issues are symptoms of something deeper. Things like depression, loneliness, insecurity, and the pressure to be perfect. These are things that no amount of dieting or weight loss can cure. Have you ever turned to food when you're feeling stressed, bored, or lonely? While with bulimia, overeating is like a necessity. But instead of eating better to make up for it, they will punish themselves by purging, fasting, or exercising to get rid of the calories. When you're struggling with bulimia, you're in a constant battle between the desire to lose weight and the overwhelmness to binge and eat. Signs and symptoms are going to the bathroom after meals, using laxatives after eating, smelling of vomit, excessive exercising, calluses or sores on the hands, and puffy cheeks. Do we have sound?
National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. Join us and find out how you can help at nationaleatingdisorders.org.
1 million males are fighting a life versus death battle with an eating disorder. It is estimated that 1% to 4.2% of women have suffered from anorexia in their lifetime. Anorexia has the highest fatality rate of any mental illness. 4% of individuals with an eating disorder die from complications, and only 1/3 struggling with an eating disorder obtain treatment. The ultimate goal of treatment is to recover, to learn to make your voice heard, to learn to love yourself again, and learn better ways to cope, and learn not to rely on your eating disorder. There are many ways to do this, such as group support, where you can visit different therapists, such as psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, or a professional counselor. Inpatient facilities, where you live at the facility for a certain period of time. The facility has medical doctors, registered nurses, therapists, dietitians, and volunteers on staff to work with patients. And inpatient facilities offer group sessions with one-on-one therapy, weigh-ins, counseling, art therapy, spiritual exploration, mealtimes, and free time. Outpatient facilities are where you do not live at the facility, and you attend daily or weekly sessions that are offered depending upon each person's needs. One-on-one therapy is offered as well as group sessions to help with recovery. Questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about the picture? Why you have it on there?
I have that picture on there because my mom is a survivor of anorexia. She's been anorexic since she was 15, so over 20 years. And she's been through everything. She's been through the best of times and the worst of times. Last year she was hospitalized, and she ended up having to go into a surgery that she only had a 40% chance to live. And she ended up making it through that. So basically she has just been on and off struggling, but she's gotten better over time in recovery. And I'm really proud of her. And that picture was taken at a walk that was held at the Mall of America this past summer. So yeah.
How has that affected you?
It's been really hard. I mean, I guess I never really understood what an eating disorder was until I was like 13, 14. I've always wondered, like, why couldn't she just eat? Why can't she see how she's hurting herself? Why can't she see how she's hurting her family? But I mean, with time, I guess I've come to realize, like, how it's more than just eating. It's more of a mental thing, and it's all about voices inside your head. But, I mean, it's been hard, so I've had to really understand how she's feeling. And to this day, I still don't really understand 100%. It's just about time and doing my best to help her. But, I mean, it's become easier over time dealing with it.
You said she started when she was 13?
Yep.
Disease. When did she start doing something about it, or someone else direct her to do something about it?
She did not herself direct her, going for recovery herself. My grandma, her mom actually, was the one who put her into a facility to get recovery, but it wasn't until she was about, 20, 21. So.
What happens if you don't get treatment?
If you don't get treatment, I mean, I've heard of people who, they can recover from it, on their own, if they really, put their minds to it. But otherwise, if it's left untreated, most of the cases, it will lead to death.
Did you do any investigation of Karen Carpenter, to me one of the most prominent ones with this problem?
I did not.
You know Karen Carpenter?
I do not.
The famous singer who had everything in the world, and she did not succeed in treatment anyway, and it affected her internal organs, and she died a peak of her career. So, this is serious. So mothers still being treated in a way? I mean, I know there's self-help groups or support groups. Is she doing anything like that?
Yeah, she goes up for, every month she'll go up for group sessions, and she'll meet with her therapist and her dietitian, and they'll make sure that she's still on track and that she's at her set goal weight that she needs to be at.
Is she the only one in the family, or are there others?
She is the only one in my family with that.
Is there something you found out in your research beyond what your experience was with your mother that helped you in any understanding? Or?
I guess it's just crazy to think how many people are actually affected by like the media and how they have an effect on people by body image and what they're supposed to look like and all of this. So I think it's just crazy how like the statistics on how many people like are affected by eating disorders and they don't get treatment.
Did your mother have any reasons why she began in this direction?
A lot of it is family-related stuff, like her dad walked out on her, but not her sister. And so I guess from that point, she already felt unperfect, and she felt like she didn't belong, and she needed to fix herself. And it kind of just led on from there.
Very psychological.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. Nice stuff.